welcome to my screencast-o-matic about the salient points from the beginning of class to now. I'll be using our infamous mind map to display my learning throughout this course. As you know, in the beginning we have this kind of crazy mousetrap-like map to go off of, and at the beginning it looked like a complete puzzle. But now I'm able to look at this and comprehend what you are getting at, Dr. Ginsburg. So let's pull it apart a little bit. First off is close reading. So close reading is at the center of everything we will do and teach. Beth Burke says that usually this is composed of short passages with high complexity and analysis. And we should review these pieces more than once. They are a key requirement of the California state standards. And a lot of the complexity comes from vocabulary, syntax, text structures like comparison and contrasting, cause and effect, or text features like headings and signal words. Next, as educators, we have to be mindful of planning, and planning in a way that doesn't give our students academic whiplash. First, we should be introducing background knowledge, then academic language. Finally, we'll read, and all of this will accumulate to our grand peak of writing. So first off is background knowledge. And here we have miniature faces of Robert Marzano. And the reason why his face is down there is because I learned a lot about him and background knowledge. So Marzano said that what the students already know about the content will be the strongest indicator of how well they will be able to comprehend your lesson. This being said, it's really important to even the playing fields of background knowledge in your classroom. One student might have some rich experiences of going to many museums, while another student might not have gone outside of their own city. So very important to be mindful of that, and a way that we can get everybody to the same playing field is to use those students who do have a wealth of background knowledge and have them share what they know, or do some pre-reading group activities to start understanding the topic and clarify any misconceptions about that topic. Another way we can enrich a student's background knowledge is by taking them to academically enriching experiences, such as going to those museums, or possibly bringing in a professional to the classroom. Moving on to our next step of academic language and vocabulary instruction. Academic language is super necessary in order for our students to be successful in an academic setting. So when we give them words like explain, demonstrate, analyze, compare, and contrast, our students should be able to understand exactly what the prompt is asking of them and to be able to execute them accordingly. Vocabulary instruction is crucial, and Schmoker includes this as a part of pre-reading activity because it increases the accessibility of any text that you read. In Gallagher, he says that it's vital for those students who lack background knowledge. Very important to keep in mind because when the students understand vocabulary that they will encounter in the text or in the contextual aspect of instruction, then they'll feel more confident to approaching the text at hand. While we're planning, it's important to be mindful of scaffolding our lessons to our differentiated learners. Those students who have IEPs, 504s, and English language students, we are going to have to break down our lessons so that it's accessible to them as well. An example of scaffolding that I used in my class last week was during grammar instruction. The students were able to see a full paragraph and the number of errors within that paragraph. What they looked at was a paragraph about sesame seed oil. There were 10 errors within this paragraph, but I felt they needed a little extra help to understand where to find those errors and to get them motivated. So what I did is I numbered every sentence and I broke it down for one sentence. Sentence 1 has 1 error, sentence 2 has 1 error, sentence 3 has 2 errors, and so on and so forth. I followed up with my students and asked them if they saw this as helpful, and all of the students said yes. So it made me feel really good about helping out my students, especially those with IEPs and English language students. Scholarship. Scholarship is crucial when we are lesson planning because it gives us an idea of why we're doing the things we're doing and just how they are effective. We might want to use scholarship when citing people like Jim Burke, Beth Burke, Vygotsky, Piaget, Bruner, Erickson, and Skinner. When we're in that job interview, it's very important to be able to cite these names because the interviewer will know that you understand educational theorists and understand just how students learn. Assessment. So all of what we have talked about leads up to the writing prompt. As teachers of English language arts, we need to be mindful about how we're presenting the material and what we are presenting because it should all be training up to this writing prompt that we'll have the students be asked to write about. We will be creating rubrics along with our writing so that we give fair assessments and so that the students understand what they're going to be tested on as well. On a final note, I just want to say that assessments don't always have to come at the end. Assessments should also be throughout the lesson. You should check for their understanding of after pre-reading, after during the reading, and then after the writing as well, or any other time you see it fit to check in with them and see where they are with their learning. That's all for now. Thank you for watching, and thank you for teaching us this crazy map. It's all starting to make sense.